Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another weekly dose of aviation. And coming up this week, a fire truck and a plane collide, Finnair buys some new airplanes, and the C-130 crashes. So firstly this week, we start off with Finnair buying over 15 Embraer's E195s. As you can see, this is a short range jet, so will mostly be used in operations in Europe. This is probably for Finnair just to try and redevelop the connections in Europe, as in recent years we have started to do a lot of developing and building the reputation outside of Europe in continents such as Asia and America. So as you can see, this means they are saying that they could possibly be ordering more of these E195s, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But there also is a possibility they could be buying E190s from Embraer, which would cause Finnair to be quite a big contributor to the Embraer factory line. Next we go to the USA, where a small regional Air Canada express flight collided with a fire truck whilst landing. As you can see from the pictures, both pilots sadly lost their lives. Luckily, both firefighters in the firefighting truck did manage to survive after being flung about 15 meters into the air and then onto the grass. One of the flight attendants did get ejected from the aircraft after the collision and was found 300 meters away from the aircraft. A lot of the passengers were injured, but most survived, with the only two fatalities being the pilots. The cabin crew member was found in a bad state, but now is in hospital and is slowly getting better. As you can see, this incident occurred whilst the fire truck was crossing the runway and the aircraft was coming in to land. This resulted in a collision about halfway down the runway, but let's talk about how the collision actually occurred. So we can hear on the ATC that the fire truck is requesting permission from ATC to cross the runway. After the ATC says they can, they decide to cross the runway, but then about 1/4 way across, ATC does tell the fire truck to stop, as it realises that there's an aircraft coming in to land. What I don't understand is how the firefighters didn't look both sides of the runway before actually going over, because if they looked to the right side, they could clearly see the landing lights and the takeoff lights of the aircraft coming in to land. Overall, I don't know who's to blame for this incident, as I would say it's a mix of ATC error and just the person that was actually in the fire truck, as if we look to the right, I think we could have avoided this fatal collision. But the FAA is investigating and we'll probably know more about this soon. Next we go to Afghanistan, where a Boeing 737-400 had a runway overrun. The aircraft was coming in to land onto the runway before it sadly overran the runway. Happily, no one was injured in this incident and everyone got off the aircraft safely. We don't actually know what happened to the aircraft, but I guess we can assume that it could have been something to do with the brakes, as it is quite an old aircraft. Happily, emergency services arrived at the scene quite quickly and got the people off the plane quite quickly as well. The pilots did say that they were struggling a bit with the aircraft along the flight, but overall nothing much happened. The aircraft got removed off the runway and the airport resumed service as normal. Now for the last part of this video, we go to Colombia, where a Colombian Air Force C-130 Hercules crashed just after taking off. For now there are only 66 fatalities and there are a lot of injuries in the aircraft. As you can see, the aircraft departed the airport, climbed to about 2,000 feet and then started dropping rapidly. The aircraft got near the ground and then the left wing struck the ground first and the rest continued along with it. The aircraft burst into flames upon impact and sadly a lot of the people on board did die. The local authorities will be investigating this and will probably know more about this soon, but for now we can only blame it for an old aircraft or maybe some engine failures. Although this C-130 was delivered from the US Air Force to Colombia in 2022. So that means it's probably quite well serviced and quite a good member of the Air Force, as the Colombian Air Force does not have many modern aircraft. We'll probably know more about this quite soon after the local authorities investigate. And that just about sums up all the weekly dose of aviation happening this week. As you can see, not a lot happened. We had one major crash and, well, two major crashes, and that's about it. So thanks for watching, I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys again next week.